And Mind Crypto here. I hope we're all having a wonderful day. Please remember, I'm not a financial advisor and none of this is financial advice, and none of the information provided in this video should ever be seen or taken as a signal to buy or to sell. Please remember, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any further videos. Also, drop me a comment. You'd be doing me a massive favor. But we first and foremost, we look at the coin stats and we can see that the market cap, the total market cap of the crypto space is currently under that $2 trillion mark. And we are down 8.25% in the last 24 hours. BTC dominance still up 0.25% to 51.3%. And as you can see, we're still in this greed at 70%, but we can also see that Quant is going sideways at the moment. And if we look over here, in the last 24 hours, we're up 2.12%. In the last 7 days, 2.2%. 24-hour volume is around 23 million, but we're down 20% in the last 30 days. Not a huge amount going on chain at the moment. We saw this transaction earlier from Coinbase, and I was ready to post it, and then bang, it went back out of the water, back into Coinbase again. So wondering what's actually happening there. I did see these Wintermute ones from Uniswap to Wintermute, Wintermute to Uniswap. Also, we're seeing lots of Wintermute. So the Coinbase to Wintermute. Now, I normally see at this point when it goes to Wintermute, we might see something come out from Wintermute into one of those wallets, those no outflow, no ETH wallets, which is quite interesting because we speculate that they could be the licensed lockup wallets. But we move over to our friend Bullshark Trading for short-term trading analysis. We see here 4-hour time frame creating higher lows with a breakout from the range high, taking out buy-side liquidity. Price reversed back down to the range high and has printed a higher low. We'll need to see the bulls step up and buying pressure and flip the range high to $110. Bullish short-term target to look for, he says here, $116. $123 and $125. The bearish short-term targets to watch are $100. Obviously, that's stable coin that everybody talks about, and $99 and $85. Will we see those prices? I very much doubt so. But remember, this is not financial advice. We are just here looking at the data. And as we can see here, these levels that he's talking about currently at this price here, we could see this range of accumulation around this zone, around 99 above $100. But if we look over here, again, this is based off the Wall Street cheat sheet. And as we can see, we follow the flow, the bull, the bear, and we are currently in this accumulation zone. We're still coiling. Now, how long it will coil for, we don't know. It depends on the news that we receive. Now, lots of news, hopefully for the summer in July when we hear about SATP. And we hear about other news that may come out before then, but we are waiting here with bated breath. Now, if we look at crypto quant, we can see on the exchange reserves, the spot exchange reserves, we have slightly increased from yesterday, but still ranging, in my opinion. If we look at the overall exchange reserves, again, going sideways, currently sitting at 1.537 million. This also includes the derivatives as well as spot. So all looking okay, just going sideways as usual. But again, you know, this doesn't bother me. I'm just here waiting for some news to drop. Now we move over to Tokenizer, this wonderful post. Quant has gone straight for the throat for adoption. While most projects are building crypto ecosystems, few have managed to cut deep enough into the industry to make a lasting mark on the enterprise, government, and standard body scenes. Quant is one of those few. In fact, you could argue that Quant has really paved the way for these institutions to begin adopting DLT. Their road to adoption is like no other. The BIS CBDCs showcase just how much has happened post Project Rosalind and all that it's inspired. The UK RLN proves that Quant is now working with the big leagues as they're paired up with some of the biggest fintech institutions for the new UK financial infrastructure built on DLT. Their work with ISO TC307 and SATP prove their work in standards and just who's looking into them. Patents, similar story. These names aren't just paying attention to Quant, but they're directly adopting their standards, or in other cases, publicly citing their patents. Keep in mind, Overledger itself is a patented solution. So seeing patent references to Quant network solutions really goes to show the industry leaders beginning to look to Quant's solutions. These aren't your everyday crypto companies. They're not small named enterprises you've probably never heard of either. Each of these are either government, standard bodies, central banks, F500 giants, or industry leading DLT consortiums. How can you not be comfy seeing all this? And he's absolutely right, because we can see here Quant and all these massive names. Bank of England, we've got Bank of Korea, we've got Bank of Japan, some big names to throw out. Then we've got R3, we've got Santander, Lloyds, EY, DXC, Visa, MasterCard, Citi. There's some huge names there. And we go down, we've got IBM in there as well, got Intel. So huge names. So we look over here and we see this from construction trader ETH. And he says, you want to know why all the UK banks chose Quant? Well, have a listen to this.
What would you say are the big challenges that banks are facing in this space?
I think one is technology, because most of the banks, being in the business for many years, are dependent on their own legacy systems. And with all the changes in, let's say, data formats like also 2022 or other things, compliance challenges, they need to upgrade their technology. That's one challenge. The other one, I think, is the client side. They need a business case, which is not easy for them because the costs are so high. And coming back to my first point, they have legacy systems, but the user, the client, they want an easy-to-use experience, and that's sometimes hard to build if you rely on, let's say, historically built systems. Yeah.
So let's look at tackling those challenges now. Yeah. What are banks doing to address these issues? Okay. The first one you started off with was technology. Mm-hmm.
Some of them are investing now. They started to invest, especially from a European perspective. Just to give an example, we have seen the Target 2 migration last year, which has been successful, which has been an ISO migration. And now banks see what they can do out of this. So they start to invest. Others, maybe more the tier 2 and tier 3 banks, they don't have those kind of budgets and maybe not the business case the large banks have. And they are looking for cooperation and partners to stay in the business, but at a more, let's say, cost-driven way. Yeah.
Oh, and you heard it right there. Easy to use experience. And we know Overledger is 3 lines of code. Also, he pointed out ISO migration, and we know that Quant Gilbert Verdin has played a massive role in some of those standards with regards to ISO TC 307. So absolutely huge, making it easier for legacy to join the blockchain space. And we see this from San, which is very interesting. Quant is centralized. He says here, yeah, that's the goal. If you think Fortune 500 central banks and governments will move their core business workflows to permissionless protocol, which governance is controlled by Kevin, who operates from his mother's basement, you are out of touch with reality. Only for secondary markets they will utilize permissionless protocols. Unfortunately, for decentralization maxes, those use cases are relatively small. Quant is a decentralized service provider to centralized companies. A DLT gateway is in full control of the client. Even Quant doesn't have insight or ways to tamper with it. It doesn't store any data. Welcome to the real world. And we see this from Blackrock. For the asset management industry, we believe the operational potential for some of the underlying technologies in the digital asset space could have exciting applications. In particular, the tokenization of asset classes offers the prospect of driving efficiencies in capital markets, shortening value chains, and improving cost and access for investors. At Blackrock, we continue to explore the digital assets ecosystem, especially areas most relevant to our clients, such as permissioned blockchain and tokenization of stocks and bonds. So there you have it from Blackrock themselves. Wow, it's getting very exciting. I am patient. I will wait and I will continue dollar cost averaging on my position. So there you go, guys. I hope you like this video. Please subscribe. Please hit that notification bell and drop me a comment and let me know what you think. All the best, and I'll catch you later.